the whole political structure will shift gears. There'll be a power shift in America. That nobody's going to go to black folk to ask them anything anymore because you're no longer the dominant minority population. They are already preparing for this. They're already creating all kinds of major programs around the country where they will go and check with Hispanics about anything they want to know about minorities. Black folk will get their information through the Hispanic Society. Then by the year 2005, the Asians are going to pass black folk. Then you're going to get kicked from being number 3 down to number 4. At that point in time, you're locked in and frozen because everything you need will have to pass through those 2 groups. And those 2 groups do not have your interest at heart. They don't understand your problem and don't care about it.
Peace, love, and reparations. Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. And I have an episode for y'all, and I want to get into this Asian Americans and their urge to push Joe Biden to sign this executive order to start a reparations committee for Black Americans. This article is very interesting, and I definitely want to break this down with y'all because I believe that it is some motives behind them trying to get this, to try to push, Joe Biden to, do this executive order so we can get a commission started. Because I'm gonna give you 2 things. One, I think their motives is because they know if Joe Biden does this, that he's going to pick non-foundational Black Americans to be a part of the committee, 1. And then 2, that he might not make it lineage-based, which would then get you some resources. So I think it's some hidden agendas behind this. Also, if I thought I had a video, I was trying to look for it, but apparently I didn't record that part. But the Reparations Perspective used to record all the what's it called? The committees in LA when they was doing the reparation, things, meetings and things like that. And they had a Chinese guy on the committee, and the Chinese guy actually voted against lineage-based reparations. I don't even know how he got a task force. That's the word I'm looking for. The reparations task force. And I don't know how he got on the task force, but somehow he voted against lineage-based reparations, which again, even though it happened, we wound up getting lineage-based reparations, not lineage-based reparations. We didn't get the reparations, but we got identified for it to be lineage-based. But just the simple fact that even happened and that he was on the committee to be able to say, to vote no against lineage-based was very interesting. And, this is why, again, I don't trust any group, just like you heard Dr. Claude Anderson say in the beginning, Asians or Hispanics don't have our interest at heart and don't care, right? So, again, that's what I said. The article is very interesting, and I'm about to get into it right now. It's very interesting, too, also because they try to make it seem as though we all have been working together. And again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, I appreciate the love and the support. And again, I love y'all so much for, sharing your time with me and, listening to my content. So, right, this article came out December 22nd. It says Asian American groups urge Biden to create a Black Reparations Commission before 2023, right? So a group of 76 organizations, that's a lot of organizations, representing Japanese Americans and Asian Americans communities on Wednesday sent a letter to President Joe Biden demanding to create a reparations commission for Black Americans by executive order. So the action spearheaded by the National Nikki Reparations Coalition, NNRC, urges the Biden administration to heed calls for the passage of Reparations Study Commission by the end of this year. And another reason I do believe that they push it so hard, they don't want it to seem like Black Americans did this on their own. They don't want us to believe that we did this on our own, or other people to believe that we pushed so hard for this that we got it done, right? So they have to bring somebody else in to make it seem as though, we helped together, and they can change the narrative around. But you didn't help at all. This was all foundational Black Americans pushing, and maybe I would say a couple of our immigrant allies, not the tethers, but the immigrant allies that, also, because it was some immigrants at the reparations rally that support us and, push for us to get our reparations. And they are Africans. We love y'all for that. And we definitely appreciate y'all. So, but we don't appreciate tethers, or coons for that matter in our community. Reparation advocates have increasingly demanded the president to use his executive authority to enact a commission amid the growing movement behind H.R. 40. No, it's not a growing movement amid H.R. 40. It's a growing movement amid reparations and cash-based reparations. Again, why my opinion, why they brought Dr. Umar on the Breakfast Club to down cash reparations. Then you got Fat Boy over there on what's his name? Big Worm, Faison Love on Vlad. And think about it, both of those channels have 5+ million subscribers. The Breakfast Club and Vlad, they both, not together, they both separately have 5 million subscribers, plus subscribers apiece. So you bring two black men on there to down a cash reparations movement, but you don't bring nobody on neither one of those platforms to advocate for cash payment reparations. So I believe that was strategic. But the commission to study the development of reparation proposal for African American Act, despite gathering a record number of confirmed co-sponsors in the House, the bill is set to expire at the end of the year without ever going to the fourth floor to vote. Japanese American activists and organizations have been powerful allies throughout the decades-long push for H.R. 40. Absolute BS. That's absolute BS. And for real, watch this. I don't be wanting to hear about anybody or any other allies or any people that y'all say, ally with us. If you're not allying with the Black Grassroots, don't say you're allying with with FBA or Freedmen or whatever you want to call us, right? At the end of the day, we are not co-signing all this. We allies and we doing this when you only want to work with, NAACP, the Urban League and all these other, the Congressional Black Caucus. Those aren't grassroots organizations, and we don't give nobody any credit for working with them because they undermined our community. You feel what I'm saying? They are co-opted by tethers and sambos and things like that. So we don't respect anybody that's saying that you working with them, but you don't work with anybody in the grassroots and outside of those other little entities or whatever. So again, you have to work with specific grassroots organizations to say that you're allying with us, right? Because again, just like Black Lives Matter, you have people sending all them money. They get $90 million, but we've had always had organizations that fought for Black liberation, and you know what I'm saying? And y'all ain't sending them even thousands of dollars, right? But y'all was sending them 90 million and $1 million here and $1 million there and $1 million here. You feel what I'm saying? And then come to find out they was finessing the bread. That's a whole nother story. But again, my point is that, a lot of people were sending money to them trying to make it seem as though they were allying with the Black community, but really that was a whole front group for some white liberal organization, right? So again, you have to support the Black grassroots to say that you allying with Black people. That's my point. But Japanese American activists and organizations have been powerful have been allies throughout the decade for H.R. 40. In 1988, the U.S. government passed the Civil Rights Liberties Act, which created a commission to provide reparations to people of Japanese descent incarcerated in the U.S. concentration camps known as internment camps during World War II. The following year, H.R. 40 was introduced into Congress for the first time. Now, what I do want to say to all those haters and all those people who say, I didn't do anything to you, I wasn't a slave, you wasn't a slave and I wasn't a slave master, I shouldn't have to pay you. Now, this Civil Liberties Act from 1988, which got them their money, because I believe the World War II actually happened in the 40s. They got their shit in the 80s and the 90s. So our money went to, our tax dollars went to the Japanese, even though I didn't put them in internment camps. I didn't put them in concentration camps in the United States or wherever the hell they was in concentration camps at. I didn't do that, but my tax dollars went to that. My parents' tax dollars went to that. So again, we ain't trying to hear none of that, but let's keep going. Just as the Commission on Wartime Reallocation and Internment of Civilians, the CWRIC, studied the impacts of the forced incarcerated of Japanese Americans in the U.S. concentration camps, we call upon you to create courageously established a commission that will bring forward the stories needed to fully understand our nation's failure to address the devastating and continuing impacts of enslavement as the foundations of our ongoing disparities faced by Black Americans, especially in the areas of health, education, employment, housing, and environmental outcomes. The NNRC wrote to I hate when people talk about environmental. What the hell does that have to do to be specific to Black people? Again, that's some old liberal goofiness. I hate when people bring up the environment. The environment, whatever affects us in the environment is affecting everybody in the goddamn environment. Knock it off. Knock it off. That's like the most stupidest point. But again, they got their bread, man. We want ours. And again, I think because I looked this up, and the Japanese people got $20,000 a piece, I believe. But again, that's back then. That 20,000 stretched a long way. Was stretched a long way from back then compared to now. And we went through way more than that. So that whole 200 something thousand, 223,000, it is definitely a good start. Again, we want more than that. That's not going to be the last payment, even if it does happen. We're not going for no one payment thing or whatever, but let's move on. The action is the latest of several letters on behalf of a broad range of human rights organizations demanding Biden uphold his campaign promise to Black Americans addressing the legacy of chattel slavery, Jim Crow, and present-day racist policies. This is that, what's the name, whatever, talking about that. Japanese American organizations stand in solidarity with Black Americans in the fight for reparations. I don't know who this person is. They say Kathy Marcotte, I don't know, of the National Nigger Reparations Coalition speaks with Drazine Health of Human Rights Watch at the Japanese. See, what's the Heath of Human Rights Watch, right? What is that? Because that's her right here. Like who is that? The Japanese American National Museum in Los Angeles in the 80th anniversary of the Executive Order 9066. Japanese American organizations have consistently advocated for U.S. government action to address the intergenerational trauma wrought upon Black Americans, relying on personal experience to convey the urgent need for reparative justice. Japanese Americans last February marked the 80th anniversary of the passage of Executive Order 9066, which allowed us officially to forcibly move tens of thousands of people of the Japanese descent from their homes and incarcerate them in concentration camps in the wake of 1942 attack on Pearl Harbor. More than 2,200 people of Japanese descent were kidnapped from Latin America countries and brought into forced in U.S. camps. Now, what I do want to go back to is this up here, right? They consistently advocate for U.S. government action to address intergenerational trauma wrought upon the Black Americans, right? So they're saying that Japanese Americans, nobody in the grassroots probably even heard of these organizations. to say that you've been trying to help us. You've been advocating for us. That's why I said this is very misleading, because it makes it seem like you've just been doing this forever. Like you just been always lined up with us side by side as we fight for reparations. That's absolutely not true. You guys would never even be bringing this up. These type of articles wouldn't even be brought up if it wasn't for foundational Black Americans pushing so hard for cash payment reparations. This is why we pushing so hard that you got to get another group to say, yo, give them that HR 40 so you can allow them to tag along onto and twist the narrative to make it seem as though they were the main reason and they helped us. Because again, there's always been this thing of Black people always need help. Even when you look at, I swear to God, I'm gonna give you, oh my God, watch this example that I give, because there's always been a narrative, even in slave movies or anything Black people do, that they had to be helped by white people or had to be helped by another group, right? I asked my kids the other day, I said, yo, y'all remember watching Django with me? And they was like, oh yeah, they didn't remember, and I was like, the slave movie. Remember, it was like a slave movie where the guy was remember he was riding a horse. He said, "Oh yeah," and the white guy was helping them kill the racist people. See what I'm saying? It's always a narrative. And my kids are young; they 9 and 7, right? My one would be 8 in a little bit. They always make that narrative, and again, think about that psychologically. How the first thing they thought of was the white dude helped the Black dude kill the racist people. You see what I'm saying? Bro, this is a twist. This is a twist so they can twist it to make it seem as though Japanese Americans are helping us get reparations, even though you're really not, right? Even though you're really not. This is not something that has been going on consistently. Y'all just came out of nowhere and said, you know what, Biden, right there, so we can try to twist the narrative to make it seem as though, you know, we're the real reason why HR 40 got pushed in. If it wasn't for us helping them, then it wouldn't have got done. Again, with this whole coalition thing that they need to push. Since the historic passage of the Civil Liberties Act, Japanese Americans have continued to organize on behalf of other groups suffering the direct and compounding impacts of generations of racist U.S. policies. Meanwhile, Japanese Latin Americans continue to demand their own reparations from the U.S. government while also joining the call for Black reparations. See, again, this is where their whole their slickness comes in, right? Because they're trying to get something, and they know if they get something without us getting something, it's going to, again, watch, bro. And they're hoping, right, that Joe Biden makes this non-lineage based, right? And also he uses non-FBA people to be on this commission. And I recommend, first of all, I'm not a fan of HR 40, but right, just for shits and giggles, let's just say they do make a committee, right? Because I don't like the fact that the whole Pearl Harbor thing happened in 1942, and y'all didn't even get the commission until 1988, and I think y'all got the money like a couple years later or whatever. But again, back to what I was saying, right? They want to twist this. Because again, this is what I'm saying. I hope that if it does happen, right? Let's just say a commission does happen. They put a commission, because you're going to have to put a Freedmen Commission anyway to handle, right? You want to handle the reparations when we do get checks, to pass it out the same way the natives got their reparations commission and their people who gets the money and they pass out the checks. You know what I mean, to people who are eligible, right? But I also do believe whenever any commission gets brought up, that it has to be found, that you have to be a foundational Black American, and you have to have both sides of your of your parents have to trace back to chattel slavery. Like that has to be an absolute must, right? Because we can't have nobody, with one side and you know what I mean, you catering to one side of your family and a lot of that other stuff. Because again, we know even though they are our cousins and our people, right? At the end of the day, some of them do be having vitriol, and it's a lot of that going on in the households where they talk a lot of ish, and who knows if that rubs off on certain people or whatever. So again, and we have coons of our own, but still, at the end of the day, we're going to feel a lot more comfortable if both sides of their family trace back to chattel slavery, and that's the only way you're going to be able to sit on that commission. You feel me? You can't have one parent an immigrant and the other parent a foundational Black American. No, you can get reparations, but you can't be making no decisions. We just can't allow you to be making no decisions, fam. So, okay, so it says, while the Civil Liberties Act in 1888 could not undo the devastation of EO 9066, which you positively, I ain't even gonna sit here and hold y'all like I know what that word say. Positively acknowledge on the occasion of its 80th anniversary, the redress and apology to our community was a vital reparative act for survivors. Our families and more importantly for all Americans, the joint letter of Biden said the process of the commission itself was vital to the healing of our community and for the nation to better understand the deep impacts of incarceration on us individually and collectively. Now, family, I don't care what they send Joe Biden. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not with this right here because one, HR 40 is definitely a trick bag, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up that word. I hate not knowing a word, bro, because I just feel like I'll be telling my kids that all the time. You don't know a word, look that shit up. You can't keep reading the sentence, you ain't know what that shit meant. But I do feel like this is definitely a trick bag, and that they are hoping again that Joe Biden just makes this not lineage based so they can get in on the action. So they can get on, hold on, POIGN Pigment. There it is, Pigment. I don't need, hold on. Evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret. Okay, I got that. A keen sense of sadness or regret. I learned a new word. There we go. I don't know everything, family. And killed me, right? I dropped out in 11th grade. Despite our acknowledgement of the injustices committed against Japanese Americans, we still have failed as a nation to adequately apologize for what we consider to be a greater collective sin, slavery, the coalition concluded, right? Reparations advocates are encouraging people of all backgrounds to contact the White House to urge the president to enact the reparations committee by executive order. No, you need to hit them checks by executive order, nigga. The same way, because that's, again, bro, this is the main reason why we don't care for HR 40, because you ain't putting no study out to send no money to Ukraine, fam. You ain't putting no executive order out to send money to Afghans or any of these other groups, right? We want the hate bill like they got. You notice they ain't advocating for no hate crime bill for us either. Y'all got a crime bill. Y'all got an anti-hate crime bill. Why, advocate for us to get it. This is what I'm saying, right? Again, this is because this is about resources right here. This is about checks. And as long as it's not lineage based, again, you heard what they said, they're looking for their own reparations. Family, listen, man. Watch this. Because again, that was vital, where they looking for their own stuff, right? says, meanwhile, Japanese Latin Americans continue to demand their own reparations from the U.S. government while also joining blacks for the call for reparations. That's because you want part of our reparations, right? Again, that's deep right there, family. That is deep right there. So we have to watch these people, man. We have to watch these people. They are on some BS. And we got to make sure that, hold up. Did I even share my screen for that for y'all? Yeah, it was meanwhile Japanese Latin. Yeah, y'all got that. I realized I wasn't sharing my screen. But again, yo, that clip that I just played of Dr. Claude Anderson, I'm gonna play it again for y'all real quick.
The whole political structure will shift gears. There'll be a power shift in America. That nobody's going to go to black folk to ask them anything anymore because you're no longer the dominant minority population. They are already preparing for this. They're already creating all kinds of major programs around the country where they would go and check with Hispanics about anything they want to know about minorities. Black folk would get their information through the Hispanic Society. Then by the year 2005, the Asians are going to pass black folk. Then you're going to get kicked from being number 3 down to number 4. At that point in time, you're locked in and frozen because everything you need will have to pass through those 2 groups. And those 2 groups do not have your interest at heart. They don't understand your problems and don't care about it.
I get what we have to do, right? Just massage to create districts that benefit you all, right, and the future. But we got to figure out Mark C too.
I'm sorry, family. I meant to turn that off. Yeah, see what I'm saying? They don't have our interest at heart, and they honestly don't care. This is a play for them because, again, they trying to, meanwhile, Japanese and Latino Americans are trying to get their own reparations. Exactly what it said in the article, family. So, again, we don't trust any groups. We don't trust none of these brown coalitions and black and brown coalitions. That shit just does not exist. And Dr. Claude Anderson was telling us that back in the day because that is an old clip of Dr. Claude Anderson, and he hit it right on the money. That's why he's definitely one of my favorite scholars. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all support Dr. Claude Anderson and get his books, Powernomics. But I have so many stories about Dr. Claude Anderson and, me introducing him to people in prison that was like so deep in the streets. And read that Powernomics book, bro, and had a whole different outlook on the people, on us in general, right? So again, man, I'm telling you, family, we have to beware of all this trick back shit, and this is why it's so important for us to follow people in the new black media. Me as well, I follow all these people, Jason Black, all the people, Tyreek, Boyce Watkins. I follow everybody. I try to follow everybody at the end of the day. I don't care which people don't agree with each other, man. I follow people for information. At the end of the day, I don't do that. I don't like him, so I don't like him. You know what I mean? You don't like him, so I gotta not like him. I don't play those games, right? Listen, you like who you like. I rock with you for what I rock with you for. And at the end of the day, but again, we have to, because again, we have to get away from this mainstream media because they will try to push and twist the narrative so that it confuses us. And again, they trying to get some resources, dog. I don't care what you're talking about because again, like Dr. Claude Anderson says, race is a race for resources. That's all race is, and race was ever meant to be, was to race for resources, and that's what this is. That's exactly what this is. That's why I made my other video about Joe Biden signing that, doing that deal with the Congo and all of them for they copper and I forgot what the other two was, cobalt, right? To get that, they was trying to get those 2 resources. Well, they getting those 2 resources, and they paid $55 billion to control a lot of that resource because, again, this is all about resources. The U.S. see that China and, all those other European countries are digging into Africa to get those resources, and they see that it's a whole lot of cooning going on over there, and they want parts, right? Because again, if you even listen to the if you listen to what they was actually saying at that little summit or whatever, the one dude was saying that it's going to be a fight for resources within the next 10 years. Feel what I'm saying? And this is why we need reparations, so we can be part of that fight for for the resources, and we have enough money as a collective to do what we have to do to get some of these resources. Because I'm trying to tell you, bro, we really don't own and control any resources, bro. You name it, you name the industry, you name the resource, regardless of what it is, we don't own and control it. So I just wanted to break that down for y'all, family. Again, we don't trust nobody. We are being skeptical of everybody. And again, if y'all not working with no grassroots organizations, we ain't trying to hear that you want some coalition shit, because 9 times out of 10 you not. Because if you was, you would be working with the people on the ground. You would be working with the people on the ground that's really in the streets, that's really doing the work. You feel what I'm saying? That's not part of mainstream society and all of that, or part of the mainstream people. Because I'm going to tell you right now, let's be real. If the Congressional Black Caucus co-sign you, if the NAACP co-sign you, if, the Urban League and all these people co-sign you, nigga, you probably not a threat. You're not even a threat. And let's be for real. And y'all don't want to rock with anybody, because a lot of these other groups and all these other little, Black Lives Matter and all these quote unquote organizations, they not rocking with nobody truly in the grassroots. You feel what I'm saying? They stay far away from people like that. Think about this. Watch this. When I noticed that, what's her name, man? Tamika Mallory, right? I said, damn, she really don't rock with like nobody, right? Think about all the people in the grassroots, right? You just got Professor Black Truth. You got so many people, Jason Black. You know what I mean? You just got so many people, dog. You just name them, right? Like, yo, you don't rock with nobody. Like, you don't be in with nobody in the grassroots. Even, you know what I'm saying? Just regular people that's in the grassroots, that anybody that deals with them, y'all don't deal with. I noticed that with my son too, right? And I was just like, yo, they really don't. They stay away from anybody. Like, y'all don't try to go on none of their channels, because again, you buck dancing for those people, so you can't be on there. Like, again, when they did the Revolt Summit, they had Tamika Mallory on the lineup with Tariq and them. And then she asked to get taken off. Tariq spoke on that. She asked to get taken off, right? Because she didn't want to be up there with them, because she knows that they don't rock with her points. You see what I'm saying? And she like, nah, because if I get up there talking certain shit, they going to try to, go against what I'm saying. Because you be saying a whole bunch of goofy stuff, right? So again, family, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button, that share button, and that notification bell, man. We gotta hit that subscribe, man, because we gotta get this up out of here. And make sure you drop some comments in the comment section about these people. Again, man, listen, it's a new day, family, and we waking up, and they know it. They know it. They know reparations is around the corner for Black Americans. And a lot of Black people are also scared of reparations as well. This is exactly why people are, oh, you're not going to get it. And you listen, I'm noticing that the shit is even turning. I noticed that it's even turning, right? Before, it used to be a whole lot of Black people would say, man, we ain't never getting that. We ain't never getting reparations. We ain't never getting it. Because some people in my family would say that whenever I was talking about it a couple years ago. Like, that's it. Now it goes from that to, man, y'all ain't gonna do nothing but waste it. It don't be we not getting it no more. Now it's we're gonna waste it, right? And again, who cares, right? Niggas wasted. It is what it is, right? I don't care if every single last person waste that bread, nigga. It is what it is. It's our bread to waste, nigga. We can get our checks and burn them shits if we want, nigga. It's ours. You feel me? That's just like somebody, you know, working for their bread and then getting their paycheck and just blow it. That's their shit. You know what I'm saying? So again, we're not rocking with none of that, dog. I want to see some of y'all work with us. I want to see some of y'all donate some money to us. You feel me? Matter of fact, my Cash App is $WILLIE 0312. That's WILLIE 0312. Nigga, if you are a non-FBA, nigga, support us. You feel me? Subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to them our other the other Black Media's channels and hit they Cash App. We want to see and yeah, we want to see you cut the checks and you know, support us the same way y'all was supporting Black Lives Matter. Y'all donate all that money to Black Lives Matter, but you don't donate to anybody who really going against the grain. You feel what I'm saying? Anybody who's against the white power structure of them, you know, because it said we going through all this stuff now. And when we the people who really addressing it and who really going against the grain, y'all not supporting us. So knock it off. Y'all not supporting us. Y'all give all the $90 million to Black Lives Matter. Come on, fam. Come on, fam. As soon as we talk about hit the Cash App, you ain't never gonna hit it. Feel what I'm saying? You never gonna donate to our organizations. People who actually, you know, matter of fact, you got like people like Dr. Mayat, right? She be doing a lot of little STEM stuff with her with our people, right? Again, nigga, y'all ain't donating to that. All y'all little non-FBA people, y'all ain't donating to that. You feel what I'm saying? Get out of here, dog. We ain't trying to hear that. Where are all the Japanese and the Chinese and the Latinos and you know the Spanish and all of y'all? Where y'all at? Where y'all at donating to stuff like that? You feel what I'm saying? We don't want to hear that, dog. Y'all not gonna sit here and act like y'all ally with us and y'all all for us. And the only people you really rock with is them boule, is the people in the boule organizations. We cool with that. Cool with that. You gotta rock with some grassroots people. But I'm gonna let y'all go, family, man. Peace, love, and reparations. I appreciate y'all for being with me today. I appreciate all the support and all the love. Again, man, drop your comments in the comment section, and we up out of here, man. Family, I love y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed weekend. I hope y'all had a good holiday. Happy Restitution. You feel me? Again, don't let nobody knock you on, getting bread and doing whatever I ain't gonna say doing whatever you got to do, because I don't really advocate the whole illegal getting money. But man, get your bread, man. Get your bread, man. Do what you do, family. Peace, man. We out of here.